where do you see, in particular for Australia, the dominant or the trends in OT in your core industries, such as mining, energy, and utilities?
Yeah, look, I think for us, Australia, it's a steady but cautious approach to digital transformation. Companies are certainly leaning into things like digital twins, predictive analytics, edge computing. But with legacy systems, the costs are high, downtime is high, and just general resistance to change makes that tougher. So they see the need, but slow.
Slow. Cool. Speaking of that, given the fact of the geographical circumstances in Australia, many of your companies, customers have remote and distributed operations across the whole country. So where do you see how they handle the OT security, and where is the biggest challenge for them?
Yeah, the geography itself makes it challenging because we have such a big country. And we have critical infrastructure spread out over thousands of kilometers, often running on legacy systems with small, limited maintenance windows. Operators are still often reliant on manual processes. So we're seeing things like zero trust architectures, network segmentation, increased access controls. Those are some of the things that they are embracing to deal with that challenge.
Understood. In Europe, or not only in Europe, we have those NIS2 regularities. There is something similar in APEC or in Australia in particular. So more and more critical infrastructure have to follow those guidelines towards how to manage OT, and how do you see how that increase the OT services?
Look, there's definitely momentum there, particularly in the mid-tier mining and utility sectors, where in-house OT skills are reducing. So companies, they know they need automation, and that's driving really them towards looking at trusted partners like us. So it's certainly helping our use case, helping our story.
So that more or less answered the next question as well. But where do you in particular see the strongest demand of the services iOPEN offers to their customers?
Yeah, I mean, our sweet spot is definitely critical infrastructure. So anywhere where you have high cost of downtime. I'm not sure if Alex is still here, but he was with me when we visited Rio Tinto, and it's an amazing place to be, to see the operations center. They have one guy running a mine many thousands of kilometers away, using an Xbox controller as a joystick. And certainly they made it very clear to us that 1 hour of downtime on one stacker reclaimer is $1 million. So it's really that is our sweet spot, where that's critical infrastructure affecting our daily lives, running services that we use, water, utilities, and that's where I think we play a strong part.
Mm-hmm. So given that fact, which regularities or compliance factors most impact OT in the critical infrastructure sectors?
So we've recently adopted IEC 62443 as our national standard for operational technology security in critical infrastructure. Cyber attacks becoming more prevalent, again in that critical infrastructure sector, and more sophisticated, and something that I've spoken about before. Again, I think we've only just scratched the surface with AI, the buzzword, we love talking about it, but I think people that are looking to do you harm can also leverage this technology in ways that we've never even dreamt of, unfortunately. So being able to recognize and understand, and yeah, I think it's going to get a lot tougher.
Talking about tougher, we know you managed, and iOPEN managed, a lot of legacy conversions, autosave, A4SP, from version talk. You went through all of that.
Yeah.
We also made some good wins with new customers and new logos. Which is I would say the success story with a customer and Octoplant you are most proud of? And it has not been the highest number.
Yeah, there's been there's many tough ones. Saputo was a good one. We were talking to them just recently. They very quick to tell us that Octoplant has saved them a number of times. It's given them consistency across their backups, visibility across their control network, and important consideration, they know that when things don't work or fail, they can recover quickly. That's maybe one.
Another statistic which leads me to a question you couldn't prepare, but I know you know it. Roughly 1/3 of all your sales, conversions, but also new business, was already premium. And you were with us since we launched Octoplant in 2022, 1st of April.
Yeah.
How you did that?
Magic.
Okay. I believe you, but can you share some more insight?
Yeah. Look, we always try and pitch the total value proposition. Octoplant already is an easy to articulate value proposition, and that's why we love the product, because it just rolls off the tongue so well. But when you frame the discussion around the top tier of the value proposition, you expand the discussion, and we always pitch the premium product, and we try and do that by bringing in the IT cybersecurity people into the discussion, but we never approach those people directly. We always use our product champion, which is, for instance, maybe the OT person, the group OT person, because we don't want to go over their heads, so we engage with that individual or group of people, and we get them to bring in and invite those cyber people and the IT people into the discussion. It creates better buy-in for us, and then we pitch the total value proposition. Sometimes it shifts the bucket into a different space. So that's just been the approach. It's not magic, but it seems
sometimes
to have worked.
It's magic.
Sometimes it is magic. That's how it's worked for us.
Cool, thank you. Looking into the next 3, 4, 5 years, where do you see the greatest opportunities for OT in Australia, in particular in Australia?
Yeah, possibly in 2 areas. Firstly, in the energy transition, and secondly, in autonomous mining. So when we talk about energy transition, we're talking about renewables, storage, grid modernization. These are all things that rely on robust, secure OT. And when we talk about autonomous mining, like I said, where you've got people controlling things thousands of kilometers away, the tolerance for failure is very limited. And that's where solutions like Octoplant will play a critical role.
And you named one of those early adopters in that technology.
Rio.
I think it's Rio.
Yeah, Rio, BHP is another one. Fortescue is another one. we're lucky to have these well-recognized names as customers. It's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's not always so easy, but and we're going through that right now. But yeah, it's good.
And how do you see OT risk management evolving in the next decades? And if you try to align that what you have seen with the Diamond and our Vision 2023, can you get us some of your thoughts about that?
Yeah, look, no one's got a crystal ball, but risk management's probably shifting from being reactive to predictive. So instead of companies responding to events, there'll be continuous monitoring, continuous compliance, possibly having those KPIs tied to the boardroom. Not sure how that would go, but we already know, again, I've spoken about it before, we have insurance companies that are tying their premiums to compliance. So I think all these things are creating pressure in that space in a positive way for us.
Thank you. My last question, and that has to do with my first one, with the statistic one. Okay. All the emails we shared, given the fact of many changes we had since then.
Yeah.
Commercial model, product name, some little hurdles we overtake together. What is a key principle for you, Brad? It's maybe a personal question, which guided you through, I wouldn't call it turbulent times, but times full of change.
Yeah. Look, I mean, for us, we just try and keep things simple, and maybe it's not just one single thing, but when things get messy, we try and reduce complexity, we try and take ownership, we try and build trust through actions, we see things through to completion. We always putting ourselves in our customers' shoes. I've often been criticized that maybe I push too hard for the customer, but that's how we build our trust, and that's how we build our relationships. Being agile and responsive, that's why there's thousands of emails, because we jump on things straight away.
And we love that you and iOPEN do that, because this shows that you're also the advocate of the customer. So all fine. I check my emails and going to answer all I not answered. Thank you very much, Brad.
My pleasure. Thank you.